final, of course, later on, but more so for the WEC in Riyadh for 2024. It starts here in this best of three. We saw both lineups. We talked about it quite extensively. And once we get a look also at the emblems, I'm not sure if anything stuck out just yet. It is Ken rolling with the Impure Rage. I like the fact that Fredrin is still versatile enough to pick like 3 different emblem sets, maybe 4, you know, and kind of play around with that. Also, there's a whole lot of lethal ignitions here. Zidez is also using the Brave Smite. We've seen this plenty of times with Ruby. And even on the other side, nothing too crazy from this. Loopy does have the lethal ignition himself. So we'll see how this kind of new signature pick, I guess you could say. It's like a new pick in his repertoire to make work because he's dealt with it so many times over in Indonesia against his other opponents. So it makes me really wonder, too, how this is going to work in the grander scheme of things, these later team fights, when we're talking about especially the Skypiercer being built and online. And so for now, neither teams are really going to be pushing the momentum just yet. I think with these lineups for both of them, you just want to wait for the turtle. But it looks like Albert already going to go in, but just visiting, you know? I mean, really, you can't get this kill that you're looking for, but everybody needs to get these level 4s before this fight does become, before it does break out for that first turtle. So right now, we're still waiting for this last enemy minion to go ahead, and just look at the attention here. They might try to go for something, you know, try to pull like a cheeky move up top, but Turtle's up. And with that, Ruby DD doesn't have the level 4 just yet, so they'll wait. Sans also waiting, so it's up to Ken. Go ahead and stall out that Turtle, start it up. But look at Indonesia also getting in position here.
For Myanmar so far, Ken holding on to that turtle. Albert pops in a shield unity. Keyboy looking for an angle now of that onward. You can see that Albert will go for the shield unity onto Zide. There's gonna be the feather airstrike as well as the onward to get a claim for his blood. Albert winning on the retreat battle, but in the back it's gonna be Ruby DD who claims the kill on the Sans. But Loopy flickers forward now and just goes in for the last 2 scratches to get the trade in favor of Indonesia. Keyboy continuing with the onward and the Earth Shatter, knocking Ken up, doing some damage, and he does have the Primal Wrath, so he can try to go for a little bit more damage here. It is going to be the Praiser's Wrath forcing him out. He will be able to onward backwards again, just buying some time. Finally gets that Primal Wrath off. But yeah, early on, a win for Indo.
Yep, Keyboy knew. You know, he's like, I can stay here and just be annoying for a while because I have Primal Wrath. And yeah, they came out on top of that whole exchange. Oh, mid lane.
Great pickup on the Sans by Zide with the flicker into the I'm Offended, straight into the follow-up coming in from Myanmar. Well played to equalize the kills. On the board, diversion into the bottom lane. Doesn't have the I'm Offended though, so really no threat of taking CW down, not just yet.
Yeah, it was a good idea, like send the package, you know, type thing. Here we go. I was going to talk about the items because that whole exchange, how it happened. We might not get a chance though.
Earth Shatter. Onward not connecting earlier. Shield unity locking her down. Dozide to be able to pop into I'm Offended, but will fall to the Puissance as Juno in the bottom lane will still be able to use the Abyss Walker and the Spear of Destruction as well to try to defend and clear out these minion waves from pushing into that turret.
Okay. You know, I wanted to get a chance to talk about the items, but it looks like Indonesia just wants to keep fighting.
Another feather airstrike, no thunderclap just yet. Lippy decides to use it to try to go for that execute, and Sans will still be able to claim that kill up top.
All right, so Indonesia finding picks where they can. They might just go for another. Juno gonna be fine. Gets out of there with a walker. But so this is the thing, man. Like with the lead that Indonesia has gotten themselves. Oh no, Albert, is he gonna be in trouble?
Taking a whole lot of damage. A chain CC as well, but a good Earth Shatter from Keyboy now to go for the re-engage. Sans follows up as well. That's going to be a blazing duet from CW as he pops in a Purify to get out of the Dispersion CC and now goes back to the Battle Mirror image onto the Turtle. Second Turtle of the game, Albert on a diversion. Trying to give Ken a little bit of an angle. Spear of Destruction, but Albert just secures it with a Retribution. CW, no Purify, going to be caught on the flanks, and Myanmar will be able to get a trade off for that Turtle. It's a kill onto the gold lane.
Okay, maybe we get a chance now. Let's look at it real quick before Ken starts a fight. But first items kind of falling into place already. You got a Corrosion Scythe here for Juno. He's going to need a little more time to build up because the same thing is there for CW, and he's on to his second item. With that too, Skypiercer already being locked in for Loopy. That first item, that rush, is exactly what we were thinking about for the Masha, and that can be quite devastating. You got the wings already picked up by Sans, helps with that little bit of shielding and a little bit more mobility that already Farsa has a ton of. So
Wow.
with this, this early game kind of advantage that Indonesia was able to get themselves gives them this upper hand, plus the defensive items they've already locked in, still looking to get some of these first ones locked in. Oh, Albert, this is what I'm saying. He's quite tanky, even with the Baksha. So the classic matchup between the Fredrin.
What?
Oh, wow, Loopy. That's the Thunderclap Pierce.
We were talking about the Sky Piercer, the Thunder Pierce, we might as well call it now, with how he's able to utilize the Masha. But remember, during the rosters, when we're looking at the lineups, we were talking about how Ruby DD has so much more experience compared to some of the members from Indonesia, and especially his lane opponent. Lutfi's a rookie in MPL ID in Indonesia, and he just got a solo kill against a legend.
Man, right now, they're just playing with these timings that they have on especially the different lanes, but Loopy, especially with that Sky Piercer, like we were talking about, and we know, hold on, Keyboy diversion?
Okay, it's gonna be Keyboy caught in, and that's gonna be everything in the kitchen sink. Keyboy still able to flicker out to safety, but the Spirit of Destruction and the follow-up from Ruby DD as he flickers in will be able to catch Keyboy and take him down in the 6th minute of the game. Straight for the turtle, the final one of this game to spawn back into the Land of Dawn. Straight onto it though, it's gonna be Ken and Ruby DD. Albert is looking for an angle to perhaps go for it. Pops into Poissons, hovers over the turtle, goes in for the retribution, but it's still gonna be Ken who wins it out in the end, and that's the first turtle on the board for Myanmar, technically. Shield Unity, Feather Airstrike, catching Zide as he flickers out with the Don't Run Wolf King. CW jumps in with the lazy Duet, gets caught by Ammo offended, but will be able to take him down as he goes back towards that battle mirror image. Looking for the flicker only onto the wall, though, loses that 1 HP bar and gets to reset on the Thunderclap, but is not in range to go for that Thunderclap. Now another diversion. Lupi gonna be caught by the taunt again. Lupi taunted up and locked down by the Spear of Misery. Justin gets rid of him. That's gonna be a good dodge by Keyboy, sidestepping away from the Praisers Rattles. Now it's gonna be the re-engage coming down onto Myanmar. Ken looking for the damage, but Keyboy will out-sustain the Fredrin, and the Feather Airstrike gets popped in. The last one doesn't connect, but the flicker does. Gila Sans continuing on the Farsa.
Oh my goodness. I think that's all it's going to be, is just clash after clash and team fights, because so far that's what both these teams have wanted to do. And actually, when you watch them through the group stage, and we talked about exactly how this new patch, these new items, has changed the course of the game, this is the highlight. Like, these are the ways, the play styles that these teams have. They've been known for before, and now it's even more so. And Albert gonna battle out with Ken, and it looks like they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, Albert did actually steal that away. Another Feather Airstrike as well. Ruby DD gonna be knocked up by Keyboy, and just with those shields thrown out, Albert will be able to take him down. In the mid lane, Team Lutfi wanted to go for that turret. CW will be able to get the tier 2 up top for free. However, no, not for free. Juno, good maneuvers to look for trades on the map.
Wow. Okay. So again, Indonesia will still hold on to the lead that they've got themselves up to this point. They are furthering it a little bit more. And even when Myanmar, they've been making actually pretty good positioning plays with Justin utilizing that diversion. It's just unfortunate because they're kind of, the item disparity or the economy lack here is really what's showing in some of these skirmishes and team fights. And so as they get ready for this Lord here, I think it's still a little tough for Myanmar to actually approach this fight because they're outgunned and out-itemed. Even with a good diversion play, if they can catch out a key target, which could be Sans, could be CW, then they might have the upper hand. Then they have to deal with Lutfi, especially on this Masha, like we said, with the Sky Piercer already and other items locked in. So with that, Myanmar will actually go ahead and try to dance this off, it looks like. But even with Keyboy, early immortality picked up. He has the Primal Wrath still available as well. The placement and positioning here for Indonesia is really what's going to kind of set this apart. And that with the lead they have, look how front forward they can be. They can actually dominate this side of this Lord, zoning out the members of Myanmar. You have to wait, because Ruby DD, where is he going to enter from? But 4th of the health.
Ken's all alone. Chain CC'd. Albert going to be able to pick up the Lord for free. Ken to be melted down. Lutfi walking forward. CW with a battle mirror image aggressively as well to the fronts. But Indonesia will just be happy with that trade. No contest for Myanmar.
Okay, no contest for that one. Again, this is what I was saying. I think it'd be difficult for them to really contest that first Lord or even fight that fight. But the way that they come back into this game, even given the fact that 4,000 lead for Indonesia is really utilizing diversion like they have. They've had some pretty good plays, but also Juno. Great thing Juno hasn't died yet. He hasn't gone down. He's been able to farm up pretty well. He's got the 3 items. He's got the DHS, Corrosive Scythe. He's got the Golden Staff. So he should be able to pump out pretty good damage. Might work on that Wind of Nature next for a little defense. And he's going to be a key component in winning some of these fights. Not only that, but if Ruby DD can get the setup that he's looking for with this Dyroth pick, penetrate that armor and set things up here, what do you see?
Wait, did Albert just accidentally get 2 Sky Guardian helmets? I think he did, and he just sold the Sky Guardian helmet to buy another Ares belt. I think that might have been a mistake, man, and that's actually quite a costly one. I don't know if it's a visual bug or if it actually is true that he sold the Sky Guardian helmet, because I saw him pick it up, and there was 2 in the inventory. Juno doing a good job of clearing up top lane now. CW gets rid of the tier 2 in the mid lane as Litpi as well tries to do the same thing, but towards the tier 2 in the bottom lane. CW with a battle mirror image towards the fronts, trying to go for some damage onto Ken, but he will still be able to utilize that turret splash to clear out the waves. And it seems for Indonesia, they want to get rid of all the turrets, all the base turret splashes with the First Lord.
Yeah, that's probably the best that they can do for now. Even with the lead that they have, they still have to respect the fact that, like I said, setup potential from Myanmar is actually pretty good, and Juno hasn't died, and because he has the 3 items that he really needs to lock in, he doesn't have to worry so much about having the Wind of Nature just yet, as long as they're on the defense. Once they start kind of pressing forward a little bit, obviously Juno's going to want some of that defensive, but right now he's, oh, hold on, Ken should be fine, gets thrown up into the air. This is all the battle for the orange, though.
Okay, that's a shield unit as well. Now into the Earth Shatter as he gets the stun down. Ken will be knocked back again with the Onward. They go for a flying off the sound, but he's still able to survive right now. The Feather Airstrike popped in, but gets caught by the Petrify as they look for Justin now, who's going to be completely isolated. Lippy with another Thunderclap, and you might as well call it the Thunder Piercer, because that's what it is on the Masha. Your HP bar just disappears whenever he goes for that Thunderclap. Albert and Keyboy zoning Zide and Ruby DD. None of the backliners alive for Myanmar. Indonesia can go for the end right now. Battle Mirror Image, that's going to be the Onward to cancel out any sort of re-engage from Zide. Ruby DD all alone. They're going to go straight for it. Lucky again with the Thunderclap and the Sky Piercer to assassinate Ruby DD to claim game number 1 for Indonesia.
Man, oh